Hallo en welkom by Namibië sonder grense. Ons gesels vandag met Rudine en Marchall, wat van Rehoboth is en nou in Thailand skool gee. Hulle wys vir ons die mooie sonneblomvelde in Lap Buri en die ongelooflike uitkyk vanaf Dragon Crest berg in Krabi. Daarna loer ons in en kyk wat is nuut by Christiaan in Traverse City, Michigan. Toe Christiaan die eerste keer hier op Namibië sonder grense was, het hulle net Traverse City toe getrek en hulle het sedertdien 'n huis gekoop. En hy sê dat die huis se deure altyd sal oopstaan vir mede-Namibiërs. Maar voordat ons oorgaan na ons twee gaste, eers 'n kort video van my besoek aan die Lyndon Johnson National State Park. Lyndon Johnson was president na John F. Kennedy hier in Amerika tot en met 1969. Hierdie nasionale park was sy plaas gewees en daar word ook na dit verwys as die Texas White House omdat die plaashuis so ingerig was dat hy al sy werk van daar af kon doen.
We spare no effort to offer you the ultimate in travel, for business or leisure. Because travel is deeply personal and emotional. If a picture is worth 1,000 words, then the experience is priceless. We want you to dream, basking in the sheer joy and contentment of every moment, to connect on every level to make every trip count. Let us create moments that will linger, because experience is not a destination, it is how you feel. Trip travel, dream, connect, create, experience.
Everybody, I'm Rudine.
Hi there, Namibia, and I'm Marchall.
We are the traveling Namibian teachers. We're two Namibians living and teaching in Thailand. So we're currently in Lap Buri, the central part of Thailand, teaching English. Okay, so now I'll give you a brief overview of how this journey started. About 2 years ago, I started looking into the TEFL industry, teaching abroad, and that's basically how the dream started. So I started doing research about the TEFL course, what exactly do I need, how much money do I need, and all of that. So then we started saving up and started with our TEFL course. After that, like a few months after finishing our TEFL courses, we did a boot camp with an agency in Thailand. And the specific agency has schools both in Cambodia and Thailand. So we first got a job offer in Cambodia, but that time the borders were still closed, so the quarantine was longer in Cambodia than in Thailand. So we decided to take the offer in Thailand. So yes, that's how it started, the journey to Thailand. This was around last year, September, October. Everything happened so quickly. We were living in Windhoek at the time. Both our families are actually from Rehoboth. I grew up in Rehoboth as well.
So we basically arrived in Bangkok on 16th of October 2021, and quarantined for about 7 days. We then traveled to Suratani, a city in southern Thailand. Suratani is not much of a touristy area like Phuket or Krabi, but it's known as a gateway to the islands because the pier in Suratani gives you access to some of the major islands like Koh Samui and Koh Phangan. So very similar to the rest of Thailand, Suratani has a lot of markets. You find these markets throughout the city, and some are actually occasional only. They only open certain days of the week, and others are open every day. Something interesting about these markets throughout Thailand is that they are only open at night. The reason for that is because during the day it's simply too hot to be outside. So a lot of the locals, they just prefer to be inside during the day and not spend any time outside in the immense heat. Um, and then in the first week of December, I managed to get a job in Krabi town, a beautiful tourist destination with white sandy beaches, picturesque mountains, and artistic landscapes. Oh, and not to forget the James Bond Islands. Um, our time in Krabi was truly magical. We explored the Klong Muang and also the Ao Nang beaches. And yeah, I also hiked up Dragon Crest Mountain. It is a remarkable 9 kilometer hiking trail to the most beautiful views that Thailand has to offer.
In Thailand. So how does a normal apartment look like? Well, I think the strangest thing for me was the apartments not having kitchens. So in Thailand, apartments don't really have fully fitted kitchens. And this makes cooking extremely difficult, especially if you're used to a kitchen. So a lot of apartments have like outdoor kitchens or shared kitchens. Some don't have kitchens at all because most people buy from the markets or they order online. It's normal to order food from Grab or Food Panda. That's like the most normal thing here. Thailand has a tropical climate. Most days are sunny and very hot and humid. The rainy season starts in July and lasts up until October. The southern parts of Thailand are very prone to flooding. Last year when we came, we stayed in Suratani down south for a month or two. And it was raining and raining day and night. And like we saw some light floods, but it wasn't really that extreme. So yeah, we had an experience with that as well. But we're now in the northern part of Thailand, and so the northern part it doesn't rain that much here. So winter season is basically non-existent in Thailand. The locals always joke and say that Thailand has only two seasons, hot and very hot. And I can really agree because it's hot all the time. I used to complain about like the heat in Rehoboth, but Thailand makes Rehoboth feel really cool.
Back in January this year, we made another move to a city called Lap Buri. Lap Buri is also known as Monkey Town here in Thailand. The weather is a bit cooler over here, and humidity is much less than down south. Lap Buri is also known for its rich history, and it's located plus minus 2 hours north of Bangkok. In recent years, Lap Buri has become more famous for its annual sunflower festivals and the natural wonders in and around the city. Tourist attractions include the Pasak Jalasi Dam, and in February every year, a special tourist train crosses the railway over the dam for tourists to enjoy the beautiful scenery.
Now, Thailand is generally known by the world as the land of smiles, and it truly is. Thai people are very helpful and friendly. They'll always lend a hand whenever they can, if it's possible. They're also they're kind to the foreigners. They actually have like a special name for foreigners. They call them Farangs. But most of the older Thai people don't really understand English, like nothing. So they struggle. But if they can help you, they will. So the majority of Thai people follow the Buddhist religion. The thing that I like about the Thai people is that they're very open and accepting of different cultures, religions, and people. They don't force anything on you. They allow you to be who you want to be. And another thing that stood out for me last year, Christmas, they don't like believe in Christmas or celebrate it, but they really allowed the Christian people to celebrate Christmas. Other interesting thing that I've learned is that you're not allowed to point at a picture of the king. So you'll find a picture of the king everywhere in Thailand, in the streets, at buildings, in shopping malls, everywhere. But you can actually get arrested if you point at the picture. So if I would be like, oh, Marcia, look there, there's the king, then I can actually get arrested for that. Oh, yes, and the national anthem. Like the first month was like, it was really interesting because I didn't like know about this. So they have a rule. Every morning at 8 o'clock, the whole country plays the national anthem, and everybody has to stop moving and doing everything. So, like for 5 minutes, from 8 o'clock to 5 minutes past 8, everybody basically freezes and listens to the national anthem. And then, when the national anthem, like when it ends, then you only start seeing people moving. So another thing that I struggled with was the taking off my shoes. Like you have to take off your shoes before entering people's houses, some shopping malls, like the classrooms at school. We have to take off our shoes, and I struggled with that because I can be very oblivious at times. So I would just like literally run into the class, and halfway through I'm like, oh, I have to take off my shoes, and then I would have to go all the way back, take it off, and all that. But these days I'm adapting well. So I've like gotten used to it. I'm taking off my shoes everywhere I go. I told Marshall the other day that when I get back in Namibia, I probably still take off my shoes before I go into classrooms and people's houses. And I think that would be pretty weird. Yeah. And what else did I struggle with? Yeah, the coffee. It's very common to drink like iced coffee in Thailand, but I didn't know that before. So the first month, or like let's say 2 weeks, I would go into a coffee shop and order coffee. And then they'd give me an iced coffee, and I'm like, no, I want a coffee. I don't want iced coffee. I want coffee. And then I actually realized that hot coffee as we know it, it's not very common because it's so hot and humid here. So then people mostly drink like cold drinks. So their coffee is also cold. So if you want hot coffee, you have to specifically tell them you want hot coffee because it's not very normal around here.
Okay, Namibia. So now I'll be sharing a few Thai phrases with you. Firstly, we will say hello in Thai. Okay. As a man, you will say Sawadi Kap. And as a woman, you will say Sawadi Ka. The next one is saying thank you in Thai. So as a man, you will be saying Kakun Kap. And as a woman, you will be saying Kakun Kap. Okay. If you want to say yes, you will say Chai Kap as a man and Chai Ka as a woman. To say no to someone or something in Thai, you will say my cup as a man or my car as a woman. Now, my personal favorite is to ask where is the toilet. Okay. To ask where is the toilet in Thai, you will say Hong Nang Yu Tinai. Let's try that again. To ask where is the toilet in Thai, you simply say Hong Nang Yu Tinai. Okay, very good. Now, my wife's favorite, and this she uses when we order food, either at the markets or in a restaurant, is to tell them not spicy. And to say not spicy in Thai, you will say my pet. Yeah, just like that. My pet. Then they will give you food that's not spicy. Well, Namibia, that's it for today. Thank you very much for taking the time out of your very busy schedules to sharing our experience with us. If you ever do find yourself in Thailand while we are still here, please do not hesitate to reach out to us, and we will try to show you around a bit. Thank you. Goodbye.
Hallo allemaal, Christiaan Lamprecht hierso. Ek stuur vir julle die update video op die oomblik van Traverse City, Michigan. Ons het 'n jaar terug hiernatoe getrek, net na ons saam met julle gesels het. En ons is nog steeds hierso. Ons het hiernatoe gekom vir my werk. Ek werk vir Lear Corporation. Ons is 'n Tier 1 automotive supplier. Ons maak en bou kar sitplekke en enige elektriese components op 'n kar, harnesses, koneksies, batterye, allerlei tipe goed. Ons maak allerlei koneksies en allerlei drade en allerlei goed hierso in ons fabrieke en soos ek gesê het, sitplekke. Die grootste deel van ons besigheid is sitplekke, so ek dink klomp karre in die wêreld besit ons sitplekke wat ons maak. So dis nogal cool om deel te wees van daai proses. Ek is 'n continuous improvement manager, so te sê, vir hulle hierso in die Traverse City area. My vrou het haar eie besigheid wat sy 'n paar jaar terug in die middel van COVID oopgemaak het, wat great doen op die oomblik. Haar besigheid is booming en sy kom in klomp winkels in en sy groei baie vinnig en dis fantasties om te sien en deel daarvan te wees. Wat het nog gebeur laas van ons gesels het? Ons het 'n huis gekoop. Ons het 'n paar maande terug 'n huis gekoop hierso in Traverse City area. Groot plot vir ons honde wat baie belangrik is vir ons en ja, dis cool om deel te wees van daai proses. Jy weet, ons doen 'n paar konstruksiewerk op die huis wat ons op ons eie doen en wat ons ook uitkontrakteer. So is nogal interessant om te sien hoe al die goed werk en deel daarvan te wees. So dis baie exciting. Ja, Traverse City is lake life. Jy weet, dis wat ons doen. Ons geniet die mere, ons is op die strand, ons braai op die strand, ons swem, ons windsurf, ons paddleboard, jy weet, dis konstant water en strand aktiwiteite hier so wat fantasties is vir ons en ons geniet dit baie. Ons het bietjie getravel die laaste jaar binne Michigan en 'n paar nuwe plekke gaan uitcheck en al daai goed. So dis baie cool en is maar 'n bietjie van 'n boring-ish update op die oomblik. Ons geniet maar net die tyd hierbo en ons doen soveel aktiwiteite as wat ons kan. Jy weet, hike en swem en ry op die bote en al daai goed. En dan werk hard, jy weet, ons het planne en goed wat ons wil regkry, so ons maak seker ons set onsself op vir daai sukses. So ja, dis maar die update wat ek het. En soos ek gesê het, ons het 'n huis gekoop en ons geniet dit baie om mense te kom mee kuier, jy weet. So as daar enige mense van Namibia is wat in Amerika is, wat 'n plek soek om te kom chill en te kom kuier en al daai goed. Ons deure is oop en mense is welkom. So ja, daai uitnodiging is daar so. Laat weet vir my net en dan kan ons van daar af gaan. But anyway, dis maar my klein update. Ek stuur groete vir almal van hierdie kant van die wêreld. Mis Namibia, mis die mense en ja, chat later.
En so kom ons aan die einde van nog 'n episode van Namibië sonder grense. As jy wil deel word van hierdie gemeenskap of weet van Namibiërs wat in die buiteland woon, stuur gerus my 'n e-pos na christine@rebeccaine.com.na. Ek sien julle almal weer volgende week.